morning, people. It's so weird not like looking there and seeing Gina.
Sorry.
I see myself. It's fine, girl. It's fine. Morning, people. It is. Do you know what? Yes, actually the final working week of the year. Well, for me anyway. I don't know about nobody else. And I'm so happy. My energy is on 100. But it is Monday, the 18th of December. Welcome to TDA, the day after. Your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. And I am one of the lovely hosts that you have today. The one you love to hate, your favorite shade queen, and always will be my own royalty. Ma'am?
It's your girl. No, because I didn't know if Marv was in the building.
Our correspondent, no, he's not. Girl, you know your man, he's not in here.
Okay, so it's your girl Just G representing the Black Queens in the fitness scene all the way from Accra.
Okay.
Ow.
Love it.
And they call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer, news analyst, melanin jam-packed.
That is right. Gina's actually giving so what's going on in the field, Gina? Over to you.
No, literally. But I can let you guys know that currently it's the same time as the UK, so it's 8:14 a.m. However, it is 28 degrees.
Wow.
Celsius.
That's wonderful.
No, it's not.
Because I'm in knitwear, ma'am. So
why is it so hot?
That's how it should be, man.
The more that's
At
lovely.
this time.
Every time.
Because you know what it is, yes? The sun makes you just happy.
I'm
I'm on top of the world in summer. Nothing can hurt me in summer.
You say that, guys, yeah. But the sun has made me lethargic. Like, all I've been doing is sleeping.
Well, because
It's
Gina,
making me
all you've been
lazy.
doing this year is working like a working girl.
There is that.
So the sleep is
But
good.
I do feel like it's making me like a bum.
It does. Do you know what? The sun does make you tired though.
Yeah.
Because when I went to Nigeria, I was just like, every time I ran an errand, I was like, when I get back, I'm like, I need a nap. I can't just shower, get ready, and go back out. I need a nap.
I'm napping for the sake of napping.
Yeah.
And my naps aren't short.
Oh yeah, I don't do a short nap. Unless
I'm
I
napping for
have
like
to
2-3 hours. And then when I wake up, I'm like,
yeah, but that's a nap
what time
though.
is it?
Because some people say that's sleep. No,
That's a sleep,
it's
man.
nap. You see,
No,
anything.
a nap is like 30 minutes to an hour.
30 minutes. That's a power nap.
It is, but okay. So with me, if I sleep 30 minutes, I feel a lot better than if I sleep for an hour. Whenever I sleep for an hour, I wake up even more groggy.
Oh,
'cause I feel like
really?
it's not enough. 30 minutes. I'm not even joking. I perk up.
So mad. 30 minutes, I wake up drunk. Like, I didn't drink before. I remember I was meant to go out with my friend one time and I napped. I literally had 30 minutes to nap before I started getting ready. And I did that. I woke up here. I was in the shower and I just felt like, is life real? Like, I honestly felt very, like life wasn't real. It took me a long time. By the time I was done dressing up, I was like, oh, I'm actually awake. Like, I literally felt like I was in a daze. So 30 minutes ain't doing nothing for me, boy. Except it's in the morning.
But you know what?
You
You know when you nap, what do you do? Because when I'm napping, I try not to nap in my bed or in places that I'm going to get too comfortable in.
Oh, do you know that's the only place to nap, baby?
No, so I nap on the couch.
I need a bed.
I nap on the, to be fair, I can sleep anywhere though.
Yeah,
like, when I'm really tired. So I can do it in my car. I can recline my chair.
Do you know what? Sleeping in the car is nice, you know.
And fall asleep.
But I've never done it because I know that I will take it to the morning. It's when I get back out, when I get back home, and it's just so warm, and I'm like, I have to go outside and I have to warm up the house kind of, and it's just like, come on, man. I feel like I could actually sleep here, but I know my neighbors will call the police. What are you doing? What are you outside in the car?
No, but I get it though.
Yeah, man.
Or I do sofas. I've got one spot.
Oh yeah.
In Ghana that like even yesterday when I came, my mum was there. I was like, "You're in my spot, babes."
No, you're in my spot. Okay, Sheldon, you're in my spot.
And she was like, "So," I said, "Excuse me."
I'm so done.
My napping corner.
No, I love a nap, man. Big up all the nappers out there. Oh, I do want to shout out my friend. It's her birthday today. Big up my lovely friend.
Oh, happy birthday, friend.
She watches the show. She probably like bigs us up, supports us. She's the one that says gonna be the god. If I have kids, gonna be the godmother of my children.
Jeez.
She's a very reliable friend. Like very reliable friend. So big up my babes, Dolly. Happy birthday, girl. And I shall message you later. But yeah, everyone good? Brent, E-Man?
Yeah, I can't complain, man.
Love that.
You know, today was the first day where it was like dark though. Getting here, it was dark.
Okay, because basically, I feel like it got dark as, I'll be honest, I thought Jesus was coming. I'll be real with you, I thought Jesus was going to make an early appearance before his birthday. Because I was on the motorway and I was like, it just felt like it was dark all of a sudden. I was like, why is it so dark and cloudy?
Yeah.
Especially because it's like 12 degrees. This lovely auntie
Oh,
Sainsbury's.
you don't need to complain. It's hot over
Oh, girl,
there.
I'm not complaining. My chest is out. Because I went to Sainsbury's and the auntie was like, she was so lovely there. But I just thought, oh, aunties are just so like, you know, the lovable aunties, I just love them. And she was like, are you cold? I said, no. Actually. I said, it's like 12 degrees out here. I said, it's because you're by the fridge. And she goes, yeah, but you still have to be careful. And I was like, to be fair, I was in the car with heating. And she goes, yeah, but be careful because you know when you're in the hot and then you go to the cold and da-da-da-da. And I was like, that is so sweet. I was like, oh, thank you. I was like, okay, auntie, I will be.
See, that's community, man.
I know. I miss that, man.
I don't think when we get to that age, we're going to be doing that, you know, unfortunately.
No, because the other day, the little, well, this was the ones in Nigeria, the Nigerians. But basically, Adeola Patron, she's in, actually, they're going to cuss me for saying that. Adeola Patron was in, she's in Nigeria and whatnot with Madam Joyce. And basically, she's speaking Yoruba and whatnot. And they're out here mocking at Yoruba, talking about she can't speak it properly. She's doing all like, you know, when they do the whole in it girls kind of thing. And I'm like, this is how people don't learn, because when they attempt it, you mock them, and then that makes them not want to try to speak the language.
Yeah.
Furthermore, because my ears are to the ground, my boots are on the ground. Some of you living in Nigeria can't even speak the language.
100%, you know.
Young people.
Someone told me that
Cheeky.
not the other day, some time ago. Born and raised back home. I said, what? How?
Yes.
But to be fair, there's so many different reasons for it though. Because some of the parents, for some reason, are against the kids speaking Yoruba.
Yeah, because I feel like colonizers.
Yeah.
So even though you don't live here, like my grandma, she took pride in that. Like she took pride in the fact that, yeah, like my grandkids are British born, but they can all speak the language. We're like, oh, can they? Like people would act shocked when we respond to them in Yoruba. Yeah. And then my grandma would be like, yeah, of course they can. Like, why would they not be able to speak the language? My grandma would do this thing as well. When we're at home, when we're speaking to her, she don't speak English to you. Yeah. My grandma can speak English. She works here as a nurse. Like, sis is educated. But my grandma would not, because her thing was you need to learn how to speak the language. Yeah. So when we're saying, she'll just be like, so until you repeat, say what you need to say in Yoruba, and if you get it wrong, you she'll correct you. And then there you go. That's why we can speak the language.
That's the best way, man.
I thought it was out of order. They were probably mocking them and laughing at them and saying all sorts. And I was like, first some of you can't even speak the language. And you've always been in Nigeria.
She's Nigerian as well?
Who? Yes, she's Yoruba.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Nigerian babe. I was like, yeah, you are crazy, man. This is why, and so I feel like with our generation, unfortunately, because a lot of people's parents didn't teach them and stuff like that, there's no way that they're learning. I don't know how it's going to be for the kids learning the language, if I'm being real. But people do lessons. Because there's a girl, Sade from She's in a Pod, she takes Yoruba lessons.
Oh, yeah, I know Sade.
Yeah, she actually has like a tutor and stuff like that. And I feel like you have to be intentional. Like I would do that for my kids.
That's true.
For them to actually learn. Even as an adult, I might even do that.
I'm going to do it for myself, though.
Say again?
It's actually embarrassing. I said, I'm going to do it for myself. It's even embarrassing.
Yeah, because I feel like it's a good thing to do.
It doesn't flow off my tongue. Like, I have to think about it, and then I start panicking.
I hear you. I feel you, girl.
Yeah,
man. All right, well, we are on the time today. Believe it or not.
Okay.
Let's get into our first headline. Oh, no, they're not.
All right, people. So before we go into the headlines, we have got an announcement. I'm sure you guys know Jackie frequents the chat. Well, doesn't frequent the chat, so Jackie, make sure you frequent the chat. But basically, Jackie, right. But she's always calling up, you know what I'm saying, and contributing like to our discussions, man. And she's got an initiative because again, she's like somebody who's really active back home, right? So she's actually going to be in Ghana, if she's not there already, in fact. And she's got an initiative called Migration to Ghana, right? It's a global network connecting Ghanaians and lovers of Ghana, both in the country and the diaspora, together on a professional, business and social level, right? So this year, they're going to be providing an educational seminar to young girls in Jamestown, Accra, to introduce and re-educate them on periods, breast cancer, self-examination, hygiene and personal presentation, right? So the call's out there to people. If you're in Ghana this Wednesday, Gina, and want to join, you can contact Jackie via Instagram, Migration to Ghana. The 2 is actual number 2, yeah? And basically, they're going to be raising funds to provide more provision for the young girls to take home. You know what I'm saying? So if you can, if you're willing, you know what I'm saying, want to support this beautiful initiative for our girls back home, there is a GoFundMe that hopefully Brent will put into the chat and maybe into the description afterwards. Yeah. And yeah, please, man, contribute anything, man. Little as £5, £10, anything. It will go a long way, man, especially back home. You know what I'm saying? So, and it'll definitely be much appreciated. So, migration to Ghana. It's one word, pretty much, all put together. Yeah, two is a number. Yeah. All right. So our first headline, and Mr. Cameron is in the news, man.
See, that's what he wanted. So I came back.
But to be fair, it's for good
Sorry
reason.
for it.
Well, we'll see anyway. So the Foreign Secretary, David Cameron, has called for a sustainable ceasefire leading to a sustainable peace in Gaza and warned that too many civilians have been killed, right? So the comments in a joint letter with his German counterpart, Annalena Baerbock, went further than previous UK calls for a humanitarian pause. It comes after the White House expressed unease about the failure of Benjamin Netanyahu's administration to reduce civilian casualties and its plans for the future of Gaza. Writing in the Sunday Times, Lord Cameron, you know he's a lord?
No. I guess just giving them to anybody these days.
But yeah, this is what he said in his actual piece in the Sunday Times. He said, our goal cannot simply be an end to fighting today. It must be peace lasting for days, years, generations. We therefore support a ceasefire, but only if it is sustainable. But both Lord Cameron and his German counterpart stopped short of calling for an immediate ceasefire, something that has been a reoccurring demand by pro-Palestinian campaigners as the death count in Gaza continues to grow. Next headline takes us to Russia, where military experts said yesterday, on Sunday, that Vladimir Putin has been forced to withdraw ships from his Black Sea Fleet's main Crimea port by Ukrainian attacks. The drone and missile strikes have changed Russian naval operating patterns, this according to the Institute for Study of War, causing Putin's Black Sea Fleet to move some ships away from its main base in occupied Sevastopol. The Washington-based military think tank, stressed that this has hampered the BSF's ability to interfere with maritime trade in the western part of the Black Sea. Putin's navy has gradually been pushed back, with the flagship of his Black Sea Fleet, which is the Moskva, being sunk in April of last year. Russia and Ukraine reportedly launched mass drone attacks at each other's territories for a second day straight on Sunday, one of which apparently targeted a Russian military airport. And our last headline, Sadiq Khan. You know what? Obviously, especially me anyway, I criticize Sadiq Khan, right? But this particular headline, I don't see why people are complaining, to be fair. But anyway, let me get into it. So an official complaint about Sadiq Khan has been raised amid a row over City Hall striking a deal with an airline for flights to and around the USA. It came as fresh details emerged of the agreement between the mayor's office and United Airlines, which allowed Mr. Khan, his team, and a group of journalists to travel for cheap. The 5-day trip in May of 2022, which included visits to New York, San Francisco, and Los Angeles, was a mayoral trade mission intended to draw American tourists, business, and investment to London. But critics have raised questions about the fact that flights for the entire party was provided free by United Airlines with only fees and taxes payable, and whether anything was given by City Hall in exchange. The mayor's office argues that the deal was not a formal partnership and that Mr. Khan makes no apologies for saving taxpayers' money on the flights. In a formal complaint to City Hall's monitoring officer, however, Green Assembly member Caroline Russell said that she was concerned about a lack of openness and integrity from the mayor. She said this was partly because of posts sent by Mr. Khan's personal and official Twitter accounts, which appeared to promote the airline during the visit. And that's it for the headlines.
Thank you very much.
All right, people. So today's topic of the day, right? So this was given to a good brother of ours, right? I think he's kind of incognito on Instagram or whatnot, but he's always sending like some real good information to me, yeah. And so yeah, let me big him up first, Kwame, yeah. And he thought, you know what, this could be a possible topic for us to, debate. Mm-hmm. So Brent's gonna play it in the intro so you can hear everything that this guy's saying. And then I guess you guys can give your opinions. But basically, it's about happiness. So while Brent's getting it ready, it's basically about happiness. And the question is unhappiness a necessary part of the journey towards happiness?
Hell no.
Do you feel like certain transitions Well, you said no, to be fair.
Hell no.
Okay, you know what? Let me rephrase it like this for you then. There will be happier times than others, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so them unhappier times, do you feel like they're kind of age dependent? Do you feel like there's a certain time in your life where it's like, cool, there'll be more unhappy times during this period, and maybe when you get to 30 to 40, 50 to 60, there's different times where you're a bit more happy?
No.
No?
I can understand that in terms of like in your 20s, you're figuring life out, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, so I can understand why you might have a lot more lows than highs.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't necessarily mean they're bad times or they're unhappy, but I feel like maybe uncertainty or not knowing what direction you're going in.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
As opposed to it being like lows, whereas once you've kind of figured out life,
Mm-hmm.
and that can happen at any age, to be fair. Once
That's-
you've
yeah,
figured out
that's-
life and you have direction, you're probably going to be a lot more comfortable and happier because you have a certain level of peace.
Mm. Well, that's pretty much what the guy is kind of saying, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yes, Brent, when you're ready, please.
Between age and happiness is a smile. So 0 to kind of 25 is beer, Star Wars, making out, prom, college football, or, you know, Premier League football. 0 to 25 is usually pretty happy. 25 to 45 is what I call the shit gets real years. You realize that distinct to what your parents, your uni told you, you're not going to have a fragrance named after you or be a member of parliament. You have kids, you have economic stress. Someone you love a great deal gets sick and dies. Your parents, right? Life gets very hard very fast, 25 to 45. And generally speaking, these are the least happy years. And then something wonderful happens, usually in your late 40s or early 50s, and that is you start recognizing the finite nature of life. Maybe you have some economic security. Maybe you've established relationships. Maybe you have these really wonderful things that are less awful, that look, smell, and feel like you, called kids. You realize that life is short. And the happiest generation, the happiest age cohort, is the cohort that should be the least happy because they're not healthy, is old people. So what the learning here is that if you wake up at 35 and you have a couple kids and you have a spouse or you have a job, and you think, shit, this is hard. I'm not that happy. Recognize that's part of the journey and just keep on keeping on. You know, happiness waits for you in most instances. So happiness is absolutely a smile. So I think it's helpful just to know that as you move into your income earning years, as you move into your mating and child rearing years and the depth of work and your parent, the correlation between age and...
Yes. So, hearing everything you said in context, right? Do you agree? Do you feel like, nope, still, it doesn't have to be part of the journey? I don't think it is, and whatnot.
I don't think it needs to be part of the journey because I think, again, it's like I feel like as human beings, we just really glorify struggle and we just really glorify suffering. I think saying it needs to be part of the journey, like if someone else hasn't been unhappy, does that mean that their happiness at whatever age then it doesn't really stand true or doesn't really hold value or shouldn't be respected as somebody else who suffered unhappiness? So that's why I don't agree with that because people do that with success as well. If you weren't grinding and low in the dumps and eating mackerel for a whole year straight, they feel like, well, you know, you didn't really work hard for that. But then they might have. Do you get what I mean?
True.
So I don't think unhappiness is necessary for you to be for happiness. But I think also as well, I think you can have moments of unhappiness. Do you get what I mean? Because sometimes as well, people, you might not realize you're unhappy in how you're living until you look back, hindsight. But then when you were living, then you didn't feel unhappy. But then because you've clocked a different level of like happiness or maybe joy now, you look back and you're like, oh, that wasn't happiness. What I thought was happiness wasn't happiness. So I don't necessarily think it's age dependent because even when I'm younger and I'm still trying to figure things out and stuff like that, I wouldn't say I was living in unhappiness. And even now where I'm in my, according to what he said, shit's real now stage, I wouldn't say I'm unhappy, if that makes sense.
Although you just entered.
I've been here 3 years, but also I'm mature and I've been living differently to everybody else. So I entered this stage a while back. The age of thinking about what you want to do, honey, I told you that when I was 4 years I wanted to be a lawyer. You think I'm just entering the stage 3 years ago. So I don't know. I just feel like it's dependent. But I don't think that as a age group, there's like an unhappy stage, happy stage, a happier stage and stuff like that. Because there's a lot of older people as well that realize that even in this stage where you're meant to figure things out and then you're 40 and then you're meant to have everything figured out and whatnot, when they're 60, they realize actually, I didn't really make the best decisions. And then that might be the unhappy stage. So
That is true.
I don't think it's something that can be studied where it's like a pattern like that. I feel like it's very individualistic.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah.
I'm going to come back to that. Gina, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I agree with Esther. Like, it doesn't have to be part of the journey. Sorry, I don't want struggle. I don't like struggle. And I just think, can't we skip that part?
Please.
With everything. But I do get it. And I do feel like where I'm at in life, I definitely was unhappier before. So really and truly, based on what he's saying, I feel like the kind of feeling that he's describing, I had prior to I entered the shit's getting real or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I can honestly say that in my late teens to mid-20s, I was very, very unhappy. But obviously that's based on circumstances and things that were happening around me in life. And I'm no longer in that place anymore. So my level of happiness is a lot better. Not saying that I don't have moments, but yeah, I don't think it's age related, you know.
That's the thing.
I don't think it's age related. I just think it's based on circumstances. Because even with what he's saying, you could lose your parents as a teen.
At any age, yeah.
This is it.
You could lose them at any age, and I feel like that's going to be the most impact. Obviously, depending on the relationship you have with your parents or how you are, but that is one of the most impactful things that could happen to you. Do you get what I mean? And that can happen at any point. So
I feel like that's
I don't think it's age related, man. I think it's based on circumstances.
I agree with that. I think it's circumstantial rather than age related.
Okay. Brent, what are you thinking?
Wasn't listening to the video because I was doing two things at once.
Okay. Shall I give you a quick summary?
Yes, please.
So, do you feel like unhappiness is somewhat part of the journey towards happiness? And also, do you feel like there's just some inevitable age groups, I guess, within your life where it's like, cool, this is where it's generally going to be unhappy, and here it's going to be a bit more happier. You know what I'm saying? And maybe when you're oldest, that's when you're the happiest, maybe.
Oh, is that what he said? When is he oldest, you're the happiest?
Yeah, he pretty much said that old people kind of get to that stage where I guess they reflect and they've understood life to some degree. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you start appreciating things. Okay. The first question is, what do I need to be unhappy?
Do you feel like it's just part of the process, like unhappiness?
I think it is. I don't think sometimes we choose it, right? But I think it is a staple for everybody's life. And I think we get to quantify happiness based on the amount of unhappiness that we go through. And we begin to value happiness based on the amount of unhappiness that we go through. I think we strive, one should look to strive every day to choose happiness or to pursue happiness. Did he mention anything to do with like raising children and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's exactly.
That's when it dips.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. From like 25 to 45.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, I don't know, obviously, but I assume only because I've seen a lot of
unhappy
downs.
parents.
Yeah. Just different
stresses, man.
different
crazy.
stresses and complications and challenges during that particular time. And I guess we start adjusting as human beings because we've never been there before.
Yep.
I guess people second time wrong, third time wrong, they would have adjusted. So I don't know if it is that the level of unhappiness is the same as the first time wrong when it's all new.
But also, I guess he was also mentioning stuff like, obviously, God forbid, but like there's just a inevitability about losing your parents. You know what I'm saying? At some stage in your life.
Death.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Just shout like that.
Yeah, well, death can happen.
It's because of the way Emmanuel said it.
That's me.
If
I get it.
if you rejoice during that time, then society questions you a bit.
You're a
right?
witch.
So yeah. That's my initial thoughts. I don't know if it is that I'd answer your question. I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much. But okay, so based on what he's also saying though, do you feel like old people are the happiest though?
No.
You don't think so?
Life is miserable as heck.
I think they're miserable.
It's circumstantial again, like
miserable.
Gina was saying.
But-
Because I've met some very miserable old people, but I've met ones that are like literally just happy bunnies, and you just want to hug them. They're just a little teddy bear. They're just so cute. So again, I think it's circumstances. Because if you're an old person that's lost your partner, you lost everything, your kids don't talk to you, doing you think because you're in the age phase where this guy on YouTube said you should be happy, you're gonna be happy? No, absolutely not.
But
I think life can be really lonely when you get to that age. Yeah. So let me give an example of my dad. I know I'm always throwing shade, but all his friends are dead.
Okay.
Like
Gina.
literally. No, just say
No, you dropped it. Yeah, I hear you, but that's the thing. That's the
in
thing.
fact, all his friends are dead. He's the last man standing. And I was thinking, what's that? Sorry. And he don't. Do you get what I mean? Like he's very lonely. Like I know that he's lonely.
That was like my granddad, because my granddad, he and his friends here, they always met up like, they had like a little, like a chill, they were always chilling together. Like there was like a group of them since when they were young. They all basically grew up together and whatnot, seen each other through different phases of life and whatnot. And the group just started getting lighter and lighter and lighter. This man just had to, it was like, okay, well, you don't really have friends like that. And I think that can get lonely. So I don't know. I feel like the happiest, oldest people I've seen are ones where their friends are still there, or like they still have a community around them and stuff like that. Go ask the ones in the care home that the parents, people come and visit them once every 2 years if they're happy. Because again, there is that loneliness. And again, because the sense of community is dying in society as it is anyway, I feel like wherever he got his stats from, I feel like that could change actually. Like not even on a joking front, like I feel like that could actually change. And if you think about it as well, there's a lot of younger people, sorry, trigger warning, that are committing suicide.
That's true.
Do you get what I mean? Like even at the phases, we've had, what's that guy's name? Sorry, what's it? DJ Twitch that used to work with Ellen, that black guy.
Oh yeah.
We've seen a lot of like even celebrities who are meant to have everything and meant to be the happiest, and they're literally at that age group or in that age group where it's meant to be, you figured everything out, your kids are growing up, you've clocked it, you've clocked life. And then they still aren't. So I feel like it's just circumstances. And also it's perspective, because you might see somebody who is down, like life has never given them a good day. Like, life has never, ever tried to even attempt to give them a good thing. But then the way their perspective on life makes them happy. I feel like happiness is too deep for it to just be down to age.
Okay. Obviously he's speaking generally, yeah?
Yeah.
But do you feel like, I guess a lot of the things that you guys mentioned, those circumstantial things, kind of typically happen to people within certain ages more than other ages? So for example, if people lose their parents, yes, it can happen at any time.
Yeah.
But typically when you're later in life,
Older,
you know what I'm saying? And maybe relationships that's kind of broken down and all this type of stuff.
That's not a good one.
May
See
happen
the blue rapper's girlfriends? They're twice my age. And this shit they be going through. Like, damn. Yeah, I don't know.
And age as well, yeah. Because obviously you guys spoke about the elders being like lonely and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you feel that's like kind of us maybe
Projecting.
looking at, because are they lonely or are they just alone? You know what I'm saying? Like
What? Actually, no,
I
because
get
you
it,
can
though.
be
There's a
alone.
difference.
Yeah. Because I like to be
There's a
alone, but I'm never
difference
lonely.
This is it. Second, Gina?
But nah, my dad lonely, man.
Yeah, but that's to you though, isn't it? That's to you.
Nah, do
Or
you
are
know
you
why I
sure?
know he's...
Okay,
Let
go
me
on.
tell you why I know he's lonely, yeah.
Nah,
Because some of the...
Uncle's
some of
business
the
is out here.
what? No, because some of the things that he does, and I
Aw,
feel like you only do that because
you're
you're
lonely.
lonely. Does that make sense? And he says it himself, like, I've got no one to talk to, or like...
Oh, that's sad.
You want me to just stay here?
You
And
say
like,
you're tough, right?
no, that's how I see it. I was just like, okay.
Oh, dear.
Like, he'll be like, oh, you don't call me, you don't look for me, you know I'm by myself, I've got no one to talk to. And it's just like...
Oh, he's manipulating you.
He's not manipulating, man.
Well,
he's talking
Gina's
to
playing
his
the
daughter.
violin, so whether he's manipulating or not manipulating, she's like, it's a sweet song.
Yeah, basically. So I'm like, get somebody else to do it.
Your question
But yeah.
though, like, what do you all think of your parents doing a wickedness during their peak
Oh, bread.
years,
Bread.
and then trying to flip in, turn the waterworks on.
You
latter
can't
years.
trick me.
And then you have people like Emmanuel saying, "Oh,
Nope.
oh,
Nope. You can't trick me.
forgive them."
Can't trick me. See that? Forgive them. You see that? Forgive them. I banned him from saying that to me because I said, you know what? I said you're going to be put in the same category as the person you're pleading for because I don't think you're on that person's end telling them to have some sense. That's the thing. Like I feel like sometimes you just be having the old age you deserve. Sometimes you spent your peak years when you were a young spring chicken, moving about the place, moving reckless, and then now you're all feeble and shit, and you think I should now stop my spring chicken days to take it? No.
Why are you there pushing for people to forgive
Even
parents'
forget.
transgressions,
Esther,
man?
Yeah.
Do you know
He asked you this question on purpose.
No, I think it's just obviously I understand when someone explains to me, I understand, you know what I'm saying? But I think my default is just that
Support the mains.
to support the
them grace.
parents, yeah, man, because obviously without them we wouldn't be here. They did certain things to make sure that
You know
we
what?
would be here.
I
You
do
already
hear
know
what
me,
you're
boy.
saying, yeah. But at the same time, I think accountability is a thing, innit? Do you get what I mean? And you know when it's like, I hope you have the day you deserve.
Yeah.
You have to leave people to have the day they deserve, no?
And that's the
That's
thing.
what I'm doing.
I'm here for that movement.
I'm literally leaving you to have the day you deserve.
Cause
Whether that makes me
yeah. Because you know
bad
it is as well,
mind
coming
or
from
not,
like
it's like...
coming from an African background as well, the onus of parents doing right by their kids is always placed on kids. And I will
Yeah.
never understand that. And I've always questioned that. And I will always stand against that. You can't be telling me to make an effort and be like telling me that someone is my parent or is my blood doesn't hold enough weight for me personally.
That's
Okay.
cool.
And family is a social construct. I didn't get to pick my family, so you're gonna have to give me something more. And then saying something like, yeah, but you know they're old, or you know they're not feeling well, da 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 da. That's great, but I'm always, are you on the other end of that, having a conversation with that person? Then you know you offended this person, go and say this and go and say that. Nope. You, like Jean said, you will just have. I don't even say to people, I hope you have the day you deserve. I tell them, have the day you deserve. I let your heart do what it needs to do, and you can walk forth in that mindset. Yes, I feel like a lot of old people are lonely, unfortunately. Like I've known of people that have died very miserable deaths,
No,
but they
for
live
real-
very miserable lives.
For real though, Emmanuel, man. Like, does it depend on the severity of the abuse doled out to the children by the parent that will have you rethinking your, forgive him?
Maybe, yeah. Because again, like if someone explains to me and says, "Oh, this is why this that, and the third," you know, my dad wasn't even there. The nigga just left when I was 2, and you know what I'm saying? I can understand, but I think my default is always to be like, a lot of the time, not even a lot of the time, like parents are just parents for the first time, and a lot of the time they make mistakes, not necessarily because they want to do wrong or whatever, but they're finding their feet, they make certain decisions, you know what I'm saying? And some of the grace that we would kind of want for ourselves, you know what I'm saying? It would be nice to offer to them, especially if they were there present. They got things wrong, yes, you know what I'm saying? Different economic stresses.
My tea's just very nice, very very lovely tea this morning.
Yeah, but Emmanuel,
Yeah.
again, it must be the severity of the abuse. Because suppose trigger warning, fiddling stuff.
Oh, no, I'm not
No,
talking
but
about
why
them.
are you all knowing
Could've said
there?
essay.
I'm saying that different things affect people differently, right?
Yeah, facts.
So the same fiddling stuff,
Yeah.
right?
SA.
For other people, trigger warning. For other people, it could be abandonment. That could be
Yeah.
worse than the other stuff. Do you understand?
100%.
But you're there based on your calculation of the level of abuse. Forgive him, man.
No. Remember, this is what I said to you. I understand. If someone explained to me, I fully understand. But I think it's just that my default is, you know what I'm saying, parents, they did X, Y, Z, you know what I mean, to make sure that we're here and got to a certain level, especially if you've got good parents anyway.
That's a
And so-
conditioning in you.
Perhaps, you know what I'm saying?
It's your default.
It might be. You know what I'm saying?
And
But
does it matter if the parent fully well knows that they're being emotionally manipulative?
Oh, you're 100%.
yeah, of
That's
course,
got
of
to.
course. Like, of course, yeah. Because obviously that's not right, man. That's just pure deception and to try and get the best from a situation you didn't give a crap about. You know what I'm saying? That
But
situation
do
being
you know
your
what I
kids.
think is also interesting though? Old age, is some people generally can forget. Do you get what I mean?
Oh, I
I've
think
had
that's
experiences.
hard.
I've had those experiences,
Oh, those are
where
hard.
you know when I'm just like, and this is what I mean by it's
Then they should go
magic
to
because
therapy,
it's like
right?
you have, huh?
No, but I'm thinking about things where someone has like dementia. So they've done what they've done,
Yeah,
but they can't remember what they've done.
and they don't remember, right? Or like,
Unless they're
so
white, they always remember they're racist. But
So where they getting the nod of authenticity?
well, like who's
To
checking?
bring to, yeah,
Who's checking that they actually forgot it?
Yeah. Because there's some very, very good actors out there.
no, but then that's the thing. But that's
Pretending
the
like
thing,
you never
right?
knew
You actually never know.
where I was all this time when it is I was growing up. Nah.
I said, "Who are you? What's your name? I'm your son." No, you're not. Oh
Gina,
my gosh, man, it's difficult, man. But I've seen people like that though. On like, it's actually like sometimes my TikTok, there's a lot that comes on my TikTok, and it's like people like with parents like with dementia and stuff like that, and they had a bad relationship. The parents want like, ideally, they're not trying to talk to this parent, but unfortunately, because of the parents' circumstances now, they have to now be the parent's carer. You're better than me. I ain't caring for shit.
See, but
Let the Lord do what the Lord has to do, love. I'm not caring for you if you are the cause of my trauma. Hell no.
But you know
Hell
the thing
no.
is,
Heaven no.
That's the, you know, the thing is, I understand that more because it's like this person's only different because of this condition. You're still the maniac from years before, so I understand if you don't want to take care of them. But
I mean, it feel bad because basically as well, people around. I feel like it's one of those things where people can easily manipulate you even more, like gaslight you, because you know why you're angry. This person you're angry at doesn't know why you're angry at them. So it just feels like it's unfair. And now they're just like, oh, like, I'm sorry if I did anything. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Nah, it's difficult, man.
If they got dementia,
it's
not on
difficult.
purpose, isn't it?
So
Yeah, but you hurting me was on purpose. Maybe you're just... Yeah, man. It's tricky, man.
So question to Black Rob and Kevin. You can't see them because they're blocked.
Oh, no. Anyway. you already know.
So
So basically, they're trying.
Girl,
to really
one
get
thing
us
about me,
to
baby.
forgive.
Yeah, question to you two guys, and it's a serious question from me. How does one forgive the fiddling stuff? Because you're there saying that Emmanuel's trying to convince two Christians in the room to forgive.
Not about the feeling stuff.
Explain to me. Explain to me how that looks, how that works. Because I know I'm in church because I need Christ. I am trying every single day to be like Christ.
You are every
But I'm not
person's
Christ.
dream that I need Christ. Oh, dear.
Sorry, Gina, the whole dementia stuff, you said that you've experienced that a couple of times?
Do you know what it is? So basically, like for example, sorry, I stay talking his business. So what difference is it making? So like, he's at that age where he generally forgets. Like you can tell he's forgetting everything, because he can be like, oh, I tried to call you yesterday and you didn't answer. I spoke to you yesterday. Do you get what I mean? Like it's continuous. Like he'll forget conversations or forget certain things, or so I can tell that like he's at that point. And obviously, without going into too much detail, like there was a conversation that happened between him and my mum, and he was so like, you know, when it's like someone makes a comment and you're thinking like you're talking about yourself. But they kind of had a back and forth, and he was so oblivious and was like, me, I never did. Like, you know, and I just thought, nah, you're actually mad. And then that got me really annoyed, because I thought, wait, so as in your demonic spirit, you're now allowing yourself grace to forget the bullshit that you've done, and people have to still live with that.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
man. It's tricky,
so
man.
I can't. And the thing is, I say this, like, with me, it's like, it's different because basically, it could be way worse, because it was way worse before, right? To the point where, like, I could see you on the road and walk straight past you. Like, I've gone through that whole phase of purely ignoring your existence and whatnot. Now, it's just, you're there in it. Do you get what I mean? And throughout everything, I still give my dad money every single month. What for? Couldn't tell you. But it's like, it's something that I do, and I can't stand the man. I can't stand him. I don't care for him at all.
Very kind of you.
But it's like, pardon?
So that's very kind. It's very Christian.
Yeah, and I like, it's literally direct debit every single month. Like, I don't even think about it.
Yeah.
And every month he calls and he says thank you, and I'm always just like, I don't need the thank you, I don't care, and I'm not even doing this for. It's more my mum that kind of was just like, look, like he's old now, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like just give support, etc., etc. And bear in mind, you've got bare picnic then, by the way, loads. So the ones that you have favoured, and you know what I mean? Like I feel like it's their responsibility to look after you. It's not mine.
Gina, can I ask you, does your pops go to church?
Now, but I think it's more because he knows he's dying soon, so he's just trying to get right with it.
No, but that's okay. That's facts. No, that's facts though. People like to draw near to God when they know that they're drawing near to the grave. No.
My dad, growing up, my dad didn't go to church. So
I've known people like that.
I know that that's why he's going. And also because he's lonely.
Oh yeah, church community, innit?
Right.
Yeah.
I've known people that try to accept Jesus quickly while the air was being sucked out their lungs. It's crazy.
Do you feel like potentially helping like your pups, for example, Gina, like, or people that have like maybe feel some type of way toward their parents, helping them kind of helps with forgiveness? Rather than staying away and be like, yeah, I forgive you, or
do you know what it is?
You know, better out of sight, out of mind type thing.
Do you know what it is about forgiveness though? You can forgive somebody without you allowing access to them, access to
100%.
you. So like I can there's people that are forgiven, but you will never have access to me again. You will never speak to me. You will never see me. We will never be in the same places. We will never be friends. We will never be family. We will never be anything. But I've forgiven you. Like I don't hold that against you. So I feel like I don't feel that you need to be helping somebody to help with forgiveness. I actually feel like it does the opposite. I think knowing that your parents has done this to you, and then they're not accepting of what it is that they've done. They're trying to rewrite history, trying to say, I didn't really mean like that, blah, blah. I feel like that can be more difficult on your healing journey, on your forgiveness journey, than if you actually stayed away and actually worked on it by yourself. Because essentially their reminder every single time, this is why I ain't taking care of nobody, but their reminder every single time of what it is that they did to you. And when it comes to conversation and stuff, you're going to be watching them trying to rewrite history of the things that you're still feeling the impact of. So I feel like actually forgiveness can be harder depending on the person you're dealing with. That's why I love the Kirk Franklin story when he found his biological dad. Because his dad didn't have a clue about him at all. And as soon as he found out, he was like, anything you need me to do, I will do. And as soon as his dad found out that he was going to DNA, came back and said he was his dad, the way his dad was, he was like, I'm so sorry. Even though he didn't have a clue that he had a kid, he was like, I'm so sorry. He was like, any way that I can come back into your life that you want to allow me, however soon, however long you need. He was like, if you need time away from me for a while to get all of this, I will. He's like, I am literally going to follow your lead on this. Having a parent like that, that's easy to talk. But again, the guy he's a therapist. He studies psychology, so he not many people will have that kind of reaction from their parents. But unfortunately, a lot of people, when they get to that age where it is that you realize that you're running out of time, or that you're getting older and your kids don't like you, your kids don't talk to you and whatever, people, I mean, with human beings at every stage anyway, but at that age, people don't want to admit and acknowledge that they're in the position they're in that position because of what they've done, because of the harm they've caused to their children or the family or friends or whatever the situation is. So that's why, and then they always try to rewrite history. I feel like it's so much harder to forgive somebody. It will be for me anyway. If you who is caused me this pain, my trigger, is still there actively triggering me because you're not accepting what you did.
The reason why I say that is because I feel like, again, I could be wrong in it, and I think it is definitely dependent on the people in those situations. But a lot of the time, when you hang around with someone a bit longer, especially a parent, right? I feel like you can sometimes put things in context and understand why the person thinks and behaves in the way they do, right? Yeah. Granted, some of them are maniacs, like you're saying. You're just going to try and rewrite history and deny every goddamn thing that happened, right? But some people, it's like you may sit down one day and just look at them, hear them say something, think, I understand now, like based on this particular story I heard from this particular person, I understand why you are like this, why you think this way. And it may allow you to see the humanity in them, you know what I'm saying? Where sometimes you may not see. Again, this is not a all fits all.
It's not general, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like, it would depend on the situation. Precisely. Because I'm also not from the school of thought of, because this is how, quote unquote, you are, and everyone around you has always allowed this and enabled this, I must then follow that lead as well. Wrong is wrong, hun. And even if 50 people have agreed with you and I'm the only one tell you that you're wrong, based on the fact that I think you're wrong, I will not be having any kind of interaction with you on the fact that you are. Because a lot of times it's like enabled behavior. And that's why, unfortunately, there's a lot of foolishness that goes on in families. Trigger warning. But that's why essays is not called out and people are not shamed the way they need to be shamed. It's crazy to me. Because again, it becomes a thing of, oh, you know, that's just how they are. Oh, you know that person, that's just how they are. That's just how they are. Nope.
I'll be honest
Not in my
with you.
books.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. Like it's funny. Like when not funny, but obviously when Brent mentioned that, my brain don't think about that.
It's crazy.
Because I just don't think. Not that it don't happen. Of course it happens.
But like, this doesn't apply to whatever scenario I'm talking about, kind of thing.
Yeah. Because those I don't understand. Those people. If I had my
You'd
way,
be
you
surprised,
know what I'm saying?
man.
Those people it wouldn't be on the planet. But you know what I'm saying? But
You'd be surprised. Because there's a girl that tweeted
crazy.
the other day. She was saying how her cousin must have assaulted a few people. I think like a couple girls or whatever that she knew, like actual R's and whatnot, yeah? And she said she makes it a thing of hers that everywhere he goes, like say family functions and whatnot, she publicly calls him out that this man is a rapist.
Serious?
Yes, she said she's made it her life mission. She said till the day she dies. Because again, that's how it goes. That's how people just sweep under the rug in a family. Do you know how many lumpy rugs there are in families? It's crazy. Not me though, I'm clearing it all out. Let's get it all out. But that's the thing, that's how people who are demons can literally, they will do whatever they do. You won't talk to them for a little while. Next thing you know, they're at Christmas table trying to battle you for the turkey leg. No, you sicko, you shouldn't be around here. But I appreciate it. And people were like to her that, they were like, do you know what, I commend that because I wish I had that kind of confidence to be able to do that. And she was like, and people were like, well, be careful though. And she was like, no, she's got like her male cousins are on her side because we're not about to act as though you have not done what you've done. And that's what unfortunately happens a lot of times. And then when the person's now old and lonely and whatnot, now you're going to try and rewrite it. So I didn't really mean that. I didn't really know better. Shut up. Some of you are 40 talking about you didn't know better.
But in a situation like that, what does she want from that scenario? So, because obviously once she's called it out, a few of these functions, surely everyone knows by now, right? Because it's the same families that meet up and things of that nature.
Yeah.
What does she want from the family, if that makes sense?
I don't know, but someone like that is never going to be around.
Then why does he keep coming around?
Because they're allowing him to come
That's what I'm
around. So
saying
that's
to
why
you.
she makes the point every time. Because I feel like it calls him out and it calls people to understand that this is who you're comfortable being around, by the way. Every single time this is who you're comfortable to be around. This is who you're comfortable to be around. And that's I keep telling you that people don't get shamed enough. People do not get shamed enough, but a lot of old people, man, they're going through it. But they're going through it because of the seeds they've sown. So it's a damn shame. All the best all parties involved.
Life, man. But
Their life.
all right, so before we wrap up here, do you feel like you guys, when you're, I don't know, at your oldest, let's just say when you're a pensioner and things of that nature, you may be your happiest? Or do you feel like there's going to be a certain time in your life where you'll be like, you know what, if I could go back to that 5 years, 100% now is the best time? And why do you think that?
I need to get there first.
Then you said assess the situation first.
Actually.
I think it'll be circumstantial, but again, I think the older I get, the wiser I'm getting, and I'm making better decisions every single time. So even sometimes when I look back, I'm like, oh, like I feel like I look back at stuff and think life was simpler then. Like it was my church's carol night yesterday, and singing the songs just reminded me of primary school. And I was like, oh, that was such a fun time, but I don't want to go back then.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So I feel like I haven't experienced anything in life so far that makes me feel like I want to go. I might want to relive certain moments or have certain moments again, but not the period, because again, my life goal is always to keep evolving. Like that is what pushes me every single day. And so where I'm at today and where I'm going to be at 60, 70, 80 plus, I would have evolved. Like I'm always going to have a better version of myself. So I don't believe I'm ever going to look back and be like, oh, maybe I need to go back then, unless I start making stupid decisions. But again, I'm doing everything I can to ensure I don't do that. So if I stay on the right path, man, the only way is up, baby.
Brent, what about you? What do you think?
What's the question?
Do you feel like you'll be at your happiest probably when you're like a pensioner and you've kind of retired? Or do you feel like you look back and think, you know what, there was a certain time in my life where it's like, you know what, this was peak happiness for me?
I think at every stage or season, everything reconfigures and adjusts. So I don't think I'd measure it or compare it the same way anyway. And that's what I'm sticking with.
You know, I was just thinking about though. I was thinking like when I retire, yeah, and all I'm doing is just traveling about the place, tasting all the different mangoes in the world. That's good happiness, boy.
You know what I'm saying?
But then I would have, because I like to work. So yeah, I feel like it's kind of what Brent says. It just evolving through life.
Yeah. But I guess the work will be on your own terms. So it'll be the perfect job for you.
Yeah.
Because you
Just
know what I
doing
mean?
Pilates and eating fancy fish. Yeah, man.
Yeah. I think, for me anyway, I think, obviously, if I'm correct, based on what old people say, like when you get to that
What old
age,
people say?
based on what they say, when you get to like them ages there, I feel like all the things you kind of thought was serious.
And you know
I'm
what?
saying?
I try to live like that now. I've seen way too many older people say
Yeah.
it is not that
not,
important.
man.
They were like, literally, there was a lady, you know, people that stop the people on the roads and stuff and give them. Like, I love those videos. And literally, she was like, life is not that serious.
Yeah.
She was like, honestly, don't be stressed. Don't like make an active choice. And I feel like that's always people's regret. No one ever looks back and be like, oh, I wish that people always wish. You know what? I just wish I lived more. I was more present.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? It's always those kind of things. So whenever I hear advice like that, I try to implement it in my current.
Exactly.
So I'm trying to be more present because again, so much stuff can just pass you by, and the next thing you just wake up, you're 65, and I'm like, where's time gone? I don't ever want to think that.
God forbid. Yeah.
But yeah, I love those videos there. That's a good one actually.
All right, people. I think we can wrap up there, man.
All right, let's get into our next headlines.
Yes and no.
If
Kevin,
it's foolishness,
Kevin
you can
basically
just let
said
it
that he went through one of the things.
Oh, that's why he's the way he is.
Yeah, and I assume
Makes
that he
sense.
meant that he got touched when he was younger, but he said he didn't get touched. He said he got beaten up, and then he forgave his father or mother, whoever beat him up. But that's on him.
Still lasting effects though.
I don't know. He wouldn't claim it was.
No, I'm saying it is.
Oh, okay.
There's no
You
shame in
probably
me.
say it
I have no
toughened
shame in
him
my
up,
game.
and that's probably why he has that particular outlook on life and love and relationships, kind of going forward. So I don't know. Everybody's different. But yeah, they did. And the phone's not working. In fact, it is working, and we have to go at a certain time in it. So I'm not entertaining the calls. So don't call in.
You can call tomorrow.
Why'd you tell them then?
But yes. So, our next headline. Trigger warning, guys. So, Israel has said that 3 Israeli hostages mistakenly killed by soldiers in Gaza on Friday had used leftover food to write signs pleading for help. Imagine. So, the IDF, according to the IDF, the Israel Defense Forces, they said that the men had been staying at the building next to where they were shot for some period of time. Meanwhile, the Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry says that Israeli airstrikes killed at least 90 people in the Jabalia refugee camp on Sunday. So the BBC, obviously, they've looked into it, but they're unable to confirm the toll, right? But the strikes hit a residential block housing 2 families, this according to the ministry. About 120 hostages were are believed to still be in captivity in the Gaza Strip held by Hamas and allied Palestinian groups. Israel is under increasing pressure for a deal to free more hostages. Israeli officials have admitted that killing the 3 men who were holding a white flag was a breach of rules of engagement. So Israeli officials have admitted this, right? They were seized and taken to Gaza during the 7th of October Hamas attacks that killed around 1,200 in southern Israel. Next headline takes us to Nigeria, man. The mighty nation of Nigeria, where Nigeria's Supreme Court has ruled that the separatist leader, Nnamdi Kanu, should be kept in prison.
Oh, wow.
Imagine.
Damn.
Overturning the 2022 judgment by a lower court that ordered his release. Remember we spoke about that?
I was going to say.
Yeah. Yep. The court also ruled that his terrorism trial at a lower federal court should continue. In October last year, the appeal court dropped all charges against him after ruling that he had been illegally arrested abroad. His lawyer said that he was detained in Kenya, which has not commented on whether it played a role in Mr. Kanu's deportation to Nigeria. The court also ruled that his extradition was illegal. Mr. Kanu was never actually released, and now following the Supreme Court decision, he will remain under the custody of the secret police as the government sets a date for the continuation of his trial. For those who don't know, he's the leader of the banned Indigenous People Biafra group, which has been campaigning for the creation of an independent state in southeastern Nigeria. I don't blame you guys.
You need to give it to them.
I don't blame
I'm never gonna be real. I'm gonna be so. I support that movement.
Serious?
Yeah, I really do.
Would you prefer
everyone
maybe
needs to go back
a
to what
north
they were.
and south?
No. I think everyone needs to go back to what they're gonna do, because there's certain people. I'm not gonna say who on a Kanye flex, but they ain't got nothing. They got a pot to piss in.
At all.
And so what they've been doing is taking from everybody else.
Facts.
And so when it is that it's the Biafra comes back and the Yoruba land goes back, anybody else want to do whatever they want to do, but we will see the people that are thriving because of what it was.
Yeah.
Again, Nigeria wasn't started out to be a one state, so
At all.
and it hasn't worked clearly. So let's go back to the original plan and let's see how everyone gets on. I'm here for that.
Yep.
But
Couldn't have said it better, man. So Mr. Kanu was originally arrested in 2015. 2015?
that's mad. That's mad. When you said it didn't really register, then it registered.
Because
That's crazy.
I've been following this guy since 2015 then.
Apparently
I
so.
didn't recognize it's been that long.
That's crazy.
Nearly 10 years. That's ridiculous. So anyway, he was originally arrested in 2015 on treason and terrorism charges, which he denied. Mr. Kanu then fled Nigeria while he was out on bail. In 2021, Mr. Kanu, who holds a UK passport, by the way, was forcibly returned to Nigeria. The Nigerian authorities have linked IPOB to numerous attacks on police stations and other government buildings in the southeast of Nigeria. The group obviously denies any involvement. It's sad, man.
Very.
Next headline takes us to Hong Kong, man. Oops, pardon me. Where the pro-democracy media tycoon, Jimmy Lai's long-awaited trial over charges that he colluded with foreign forces has begun in Hong Kong.
His name is Jimmy Lies.
I hope I'm pronouncing it right.
He was lying. That's crazy. Watch what you name your kids, man.
So the 76-year-old who has been behind bars since December of 2020 could be jailed for life, if he's found guilty. Mr. Lai was arrested under the national security law, the NSL, which China has been accused of wielding to crush dissent. His case has drawn international uproar and is widely seen as a test of Hong Kong's judicial independence. Beijing, which introduced the NSL in 2020, in response to massive pro-democracy protests, insists that the law is necessary to quell unrest. It considers Mr. Lai a traitor who sought to undermine China's national security. But critics say that Mr. Lai's case is just another example of Beijing's tightening grip on Hong Kong. Mr. Lai's legal team said that he had been denied his right to a fair hearing. They point to the fact that he was denied his choice of legal representation after Beijing barred him from appointing a UK lawyer, and that he has been tried by 3 judges handpicked by Hong Kong's leader, John Lee. How the hell is he going to get out of this situation? It's a damn shame. Apparently his son is like him, a UK citizen, and has been campaigning. Yeah, he met with Cameron the other day as well.
Okay.
Trying to get him, a UK lawyer to represent him. But
Represent him.
yeah, they ain't having it, man. So they ain't having it. But yes, that's it for the headlines. It's time to pay the bills.
All right, let's get into some word on road, honey. Honestly, this weekend was actually a lot. There was so much going on. It was crazy. But Kanye is back to ranting. I'll be real with you. I did watch. Excuse me. What was that? But did you catch that?
I was too.
Damn, you did it.
Did he do the Heil Hitler thing?
He did that.
What? This guy is
What did I even
insane.
do after you said what you said? Gosh. Anyways, right? What's it called? Yeah, he's back to ranting. I will be real with you. I did watch it. I don't know what he's talking about. I have nothing to report. I just wanted to let you know Kanye's back to ranting. I have nothing to report. What I do know, though, is that there was someone recording him, right? And she kept... So basically, when he was speaking, he was getting, people were doing ad-libs here and there, yeah, whatever. But this girl was making too many ad-libs. And he was like, wait, just stop, calm down. Hey, stop. He kept doing that. He was like to her, listen, stop interrupting me. You just shut up or you're going to get exiled. You're going to get exiled, right? That's a meme now, so that's great. So then she's carrying on. He goes, hey, man, get her out. Man, yeah. He's so funny. He was like, yeah, get her out. And she was like, oh, no, what you say? He was like, yeah, get her out. Just get out. You got to go. Right. And so she was exiled. I have no idea what he was talking about. There was a bunch of stuff in there. Jay-Z was brought up. Everybody was brought up. Anti-Semitism was brought up. The Jews were definitely brought up. The Jewish community were definitely brought up. They're first on his lips. It was a whole bunch of stuff. But then it does make you realize that video is proof of why people stay dumb for long. because they have a bunch of enablers. He was in a whole room and they were all just yes men. And at one time he was like, I feel like I want like no black people support me or something like that. And this black girl gets up like, I'll support you. I'm standing up with you now. And he was like, okay. And then talking.
Yeah, he turned around and he said, nobody in this room supported me.
Oh man.
And then she felt away.
He looked at her like, no, I don't want you. kind of thing. That video was absolutely funny. But anyway, love and peace and light and all sorts to Mr. Kanye West. He's who he is. Also, the girls are fighting over the weekend. That was absolutely crazy. So basically, was it? No, it happened on Friday. So basically, Cardi B briefly went on Instagram Live. Did I talk about this? No, I don't think I did. So yeah, so basically she went on Instagram Live.
Shouting from her chest.
Sis.
No, it was emotional, innit? Even I felt it. I felt, whew.
No, I felt it. I said, yikes. So basically, she was on her Instagram Live and essentially cussing out Offset. But it was a very quick video. And she was just like, oh, he keeps playing with me. And she's like, you're out here feeling yourself because your little album and whatnot. And she was like, you keep playing with me and you keep doing this. She's like, you're out here acting to the world. Essentially, cut a long story short, I can't remember what it was. But basically, he's out here acting a certain way. Like, people in the world look at him like, oh, he's a nice guy. But the reality is that he's showing her shaggy. He is showing her hell behind the scenes. And so she was basically talking about frustration and she was saying how he keeps playing with her, playing in her face, knowing that she's at one of the most vulnerable times of her life. And so this and that, she was like how she's helped him with so much and she's never got a thank you. She's like, she's basically said she's helped him without even thinking about it countless of times and he's never even had the decency to thank her and whatnot. Anyways, then she then went on to tweet, where was it? What's the tweets? Sorry, hold on. So she basically tweeted, she deleted it obviously, but she said, Offset, you're a bitch ass N-word and trust me, I'm gonna take it there, effing take it there. And then she says, MFs will try you when you're at your lowest and your most vulnerable time. You're out here feeling yourself, but trust me, the tables turn. So that happened, yeah. Enters here Nicki Minaj, who should be celebrating her album Pink Friday 2 and whatnot. She decides to tweet a picture of Michael Jackson hanging out the vehicle.
Oh gosh.
So obviously Offset loves Michael Jackson, innit? Like Offset is like any chance that if he gets to do a fancy dress, you bet your bomb dollar he's coming in as MJ. And he's been moonwalking all over the damn place, Atlanta. Well, allegedly in and out of women's houses too. But anyways, right? That's what, so Nicki then tweeted that. Obviously shade at Cardi because everyone saw the meltdown. Meltdown was trending and whatnot. Then I personally think this is one of the best comebacks I've ever heard. It's very light, simple, and just straight to the point. Cardi said, take your man to a park and leave me the fuck alone. I'll tell you why that's iconic. Because Nicki's man is a sex offender. He's on a sex register.
I know that's why she said it.
So you can't go to the park because hella kids there. You're not allowed. She said, take your man to the park and leave me the hell alone. Well, obviously, then Offset then came back later on after he was getting cooked for how many hours. Then came back and basically said he was like, oh, people wishing takeoff death is too far. And people were like, make it make sense. Takeoff is dead. Is dead. So what do you mean they're wishing him death? How do you wish someone who's already dead, basically? And then he came and said, correction, fans using Takeoff's name in the middle of all of this isn't cool. I'm still grieving my brother and would like for his name to not be brought up. So basically, people ask what the speculation is about the whole situation with Cardi and Offset there. And her going on live and saying that he's putting in her face was because it was Offset's birthday, I think on Thursday or whatnot. He had a party, right? And this is what the fans are saying, right? No one else has said this, but this is what the fans are saying, is that the girl that Cardi... So one of the women that Offset cheated on Cardi with, confirmed, allegedly she was at the party, and I think she's the one she's the one Cardi beat up and she's doing community service for. Basically. So people are saying that that's why she's talking about the whole playing their face. But anyways, that girl said, she came back to address it and said, excuse me, everybody calm down. She said, I was out eating at a public restaurant. I was not at that weak-ass party. Now leave me the fuck alone. So there's just that. So no one really knows, but obviously they're going through it. But I told you that I feel like Cardi is done, man. You know what it is? You know when you get to that point, you're realizing how much you've done for a guy and he has never said thank you. That's the point of no return. That's when you really spend some time sitting down and you're really deep in it. But Anyways, love and light to Cardi, man. Love Cardi. Got all the time for her. What else is here?
See where forgiveness gets you.
Who man forgiveness?
No, see where Cardi forgiving Offset got her.
Brent. This is why I keep telling people, when a guy cheats one time, leave him. It will come back to bite. That man is community penis. Still love Offset though, but his community penis is crazy. It's crazy. Allegedly, he'd be up and down the streets. But he did say, I mean, when Blueface said he slept with Krishan, obviously people have brought that up now. Because 2 weeks ago, Blueface said he and Krishan was sleeping together. And Offset came and said, hey, excuse me, I've never slept with that woman in a day in my life. But obviously, when Cardi's saying you're out here doing this and that, whatever else, people are like, oh, maybe Blueface wasn't lying. Now you got Blueface, who is a known terror, looking like he's saying facts. Y'all stop seeing married men. That's the question. Word to Nini. Anyways, next, Fantasia is calling out Airbnb, which is actually sad, but I've been hearing I haven't used Airbnb in a minute, actually maybe years now. I think since maybe COVID year, but it's a whole long thing, basically. And they've got a lot of, they've had a lot of, what's the word? Smoke, basically. Smoke is not the word really, but a lot of complaints and stuff like that. People even say that when you go, if you hire out an apartment or Airbnb and whatnot, you should always look around because some of the hosts hide cameras. Like in the rooms and stuff, where people are getting changed and shit. Who knows what they're doing with that image? Absolutely disgusting. But she basically said, she tweeted yesterday, I forget that Twitter allows people to write epistles. But anyway, she said, my stomach is so uneasy this morning as I'm riding back to my home in the cold and rain. I don't say much when people do me wrong, but I can't stay quiet on how my family and I were just treated from a host with Airbnb, trying to kick my kids and I out at 12 midnight. The host accused us of having a party with loud noises outdoors because they saw balloons being dropped off and a game truck with no generator in the early part of the day. The amount of guests we reserved for are the amount of guests who stayed the night. They never said we weren't allowed to have any company over. It's evident from the sayings on the wall to the outdoor fire pit jacuzzi and a well-equipped game room in the garage poker table that people host parties and or gatherings here on the lake. Often as there were weights with balloons, ribbons left in the garage from a previous party at the house. It's evident to me this was racial profiling and the treatment we received was due to the colour of our skin. I wanted my son to enjoy his friends who were between the ages of 10 to 12 years old and make him feel special as I have been travelling for the last 35+ days, promoting a movie I starred in. Colour Purple's out soon, guys. This time I dare not stay quiet. That's word, because some people don't even have to go to the extreme lengths of using like white people's pictures to book Airbnbs because if the host sees that you're black, they're not giving you the room. So love to her, man. I've never heard Fantasia complain about nothing, ever. On the UK side of things, it was Stefflon Don's birthday the other day, and essentially she got a Rolls Royce. Stuff like that makes me... Okay, so this situation made me realise how quickly it is for rumours. Like, rumours can just spread and people just take it as gospel. So basically, right, she got a Rolls Royce here. Some guy decided to do a TikTok stitch and just said in his TikTok stitch, so he showed the video of her getting the Rolls Royce and whatnot, whatever. You don't see anybody else but Steph. And then he decides to do a TikTok stitch where he's basically saying, oh my gosh, what? So Burna and Steph are together. And just like that, from this random boy. So do you know what you say?
I said what the rumour started.
Just like that, from a TikTok of a guy who neither knows Steph nor Burna Boy, people believe now that Burna and Steph may be back together. And obviously, the last jokes were the funniest part of things. People were like, was that a joke to him? What does he think? What does he think? I stand there with my whole heart. Like, it was a whole thing. But there's no word on whether they're together or not together or whether they're back together and whatever else. But there is that. This last headline, trigger warning on this, and this is also a lesson. I feel like I've just been teaching people lessons today in this Word on Road. This is how to not get sued. Because some of you are going to get sued. And I'm going to be here to report every single person that gets sued based off of this. So, there is an actor called Christian Keys. You recognise him as like, I don't know, this guy.
Yeah, he's like old school.
Yeah. So basically, he did an Instagram live. Also, this was over the weekend. I can't remember. My days, I'm confused now. But over the weekend, and he basically, trigger warning of sexual assault. Please tune out if you need to. But basically, he says that he is breaking his silence on alleged, I'm saying alleged because we ain't trying to get sued over here, but sexual harassment and sexual assault from a billionaire in Hollywood. Yeah, he said basically that this person has consistently made advances towards him, offered him $100,000 to strip. One time he was with the person just chilling, like literally just chilling as boys hang and whatnot. They were drinking, talking, whatever. He was drinking and whatnot, so he kind of just dozed off. Next thing he knows, the person's trying to get in bed with him. And he's like, what are you doing? Pushes the person, he's like, what are you doing? The person, oh no, sorry, I was just drunk. He's like, okay. But he was like, do you know what? He just thought, okay, do you know what? Cool, win it. Anyways, I'm going to leave. While trying to leave, he's saying to the person, okay, bye, the person tries to grab his penis. Twice. He was mad. So basically, yeah, he said the person is a well-known, powerful figure. He hasn't said who it is. He said he's going to say, he said basically he carries a lot of like, you know, there's spy kids type gadgets, like a spy pen, like a spy this, spy that. So he's got a lot of conversation recorded.
Oh, wow.
And he's going to take it to the police. And he said he intentionally waited for the statute of limitations to pass. I don't know. I forgot to look into why that would be relevant, but he said he intentionally waited for that to pass. So he said he's watched this person be in Hollywood and being revered, and he was basically saying to people that stop revering these celebrities. You don't know what people are doing. You don't know people are essentially what they are. And he was saying he's seen this person do things and get a lot of accolades and blah, 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 and do this and do that. This time the person is a demon behind closed doors. Also, the person was bragging to him about how they have a lot of young men on their payroll who would do whatever it is that they want them to do. But again, it's a thing where like, and then also, yeah, he was saying about like, I think he started talking about somebody else as well, saying how he was pitching this show to them. He's currently got a show called All the Queen's Men and stuff. And he was saying that he was pitching this show to the person. I reckon it's somebody else. There's somebody else. And because he was saying that person had the opportunity to have like own part of his show kind of thing, whatever. And this person was basically trying to say to him, like, if you don't, this is a heterosexual man, by the way. Let's put that out there. It's a straight man. But the person was basically saying to him, like, essentially leveraging the fact that he wanted their funding for his show. And the person was basically saying that I'm making this proposition to you. And he was like, no, I'm not interested. And the person was like, are you sure? And he said that, are you sure, that was asked of him, let him know that that was the person saying that if you don't do what I would like you to do, I'm not trying to help you with your situation. So all of that happened. And do you know what I'm glad that he spoke about, because again, sexual assault with men it happens. Do you get what I mean? It happens and it needs to be called out. Because I remember when Terry Crews also called someone out in Hollywood as well. I can't remember who it was, that white man. But called him out as well for groping him in front of his wife as well. Groped him like 2-3 times and stuff like that. And people thought it was a joke. And it's like, no, like these things actually happen to people and it's not right. Like, of course, a lot of energy is given when it's women, of course. But I think the same energy needs to be given when it's men. Because 100%. Sexual assault is sexual assault and that person's a creep. And they need to be exiled, in the words of Kanye.
So just to confirm,
Yeah.
This abuser.
Yeah.
Is a man.
It's a man.
Yeah.
It's a billionaire in Hollywood. We don't know the race, but they said basically the person's also, he said he's been watching a person pay for people's tuition in HBCUs. So basically, this is where I get into where people can get sued. People are out here from this man's Insta Live now saying, oh, they know who it is. And I'm seeing threads on threads on threads. And then y'all are going to get sued if you get it wrong. And people are basically alleging, one of the names is coming in the thing. This is not me saying, this is what the streets are saying. It's the word on the road. People are alleging that it's Tyler Perry. But he works with Tyler Perry because obviously he's been in a lot of Tyler Perry films. And also Tyler Perry is an executive producer on his show. But people are basically saying how, it's kind of like how, well, some girl said it. She's the one who's the thread. She's first in line to get sued, 100%. She's got good information in the thread, but she's still going to get sued, possibly anyway. But she was basically saying how Tyler Perry being an executive producer on the show doesn't really mean they're working together like that. It's more just having Tyler Perry's name because that opens doors for you, essentially. Kind of like how, this was shocking for me, Shonda Rhimes on How to Get Away with Murder. I didn't know that. So apparently, Chris, is it No Walker, something like that anyway? He's actually the writer and the creator of the show, but Shonda is the executive producer because, again, she's got Grey's Anatomy and she's got Scandal. So essentially, you're using someone else's powerful name to help you push the show forward. So people are saying just because Tyler Perry is, executive producer on the show doesn't mean allegedly can't be him. I think it's very, very irresponsible for him because he said he's not ready to say the name yet. Because he was talking to his brother and whatnot, but he said it's kind of eating him alive. And this is the thing when people question how long it takes for victims to come out and speak, that person gets to move on with their life, but the victim, it eats them alive every single day. So he basically said the reason why he's talking about it is it was eating him alive, but he is going to give all the information to the authorities. I hope he stays safe, because telling people what your next plan is not exactly a smart idea, in my personal opinion, especially in Hollywood. If this is a powerful person that gets shit done, don't know. That place is wicked. But yeah, and then obviously people talked about another name that was thrown in there was Lee Daniels. Y'all are just getting people that you think are gay or bisexual, and I just think that's just very responsible. That's just very responsible. It's very responsible. But anyways, I suggest that if you were out here tweeting that it might be this person, might be that person, you might want to delete those, because I really reckon there's going to be a few lawsuits coming from this, because this is a wild allegation. This is a wild allegation to throw at somebody's name. It's mad.
What do you say to people who say that you should just forgive them and then?
I said to people,
Stuff like this. Nah, man.
I said to people to have the day they deserve. It was such a stupid thought.
Nah, these are not your parents, man.
You're Christian, man.
Even God has, there's consequence for things that we do with God. God does not let you get away with foolishness. So, nah, man. But yeah, I mean, I like the fact that I'm proud of him for talking about it and speaking up about it, because again, sexual assault with men is not really, unfortunately, it's normalized, because a lot of guys, even when you hear that their first story of how they had sex and stuff like that, it's crazy, man. Like, it's like with older women and stuff like that, they took advantage of you. There is that to sit with and work and, get the help you need for that. And I think sometimes it's normalized and it's trivialized when it comes to sex, just because we feel like men should love sex, so how dare you complain and call it abuse? No, it can be abuse too. But yeah, but I'll keep an eye on, obviously, when he is ready to expose the person or give the person's name. This is also the thing where like I like that social media allows people to speak, to tell their stories, but the annoying side of it is that for other people it's just like gist and tea, because this man has said this thing that's heavy and whatnot, and you are just sitting there now going on IMDb trying to see who he's worked with, trying to put things together as if you're flipping Sherlock Holmes. Like it's just gist and tea to you, and then that's it. But then he's gonna be the one living with it, and who knows what they might try and do to silence him and whatnot. But anyway,
but why did he do this though? Because like in my mind, I just keep asking myself, why is he telling the world, but yet not telling the world? He could have just gone to the police.
He's going to though.
But he could have just done that alone, and then the guy wouldn't see it coming. He could have also sued the guy, got money.
But he doesn't. Yeah, but he said he doesn't want money. His whole thing is about like, you are wronging that's just walking around walking around the society as if you're a great person. And people it comes back to people need to be shamed.
But he's not shaming anyone.
I believe, Emmanuel, to your question, sometimes like people, when they're in those particular positions where they know how power corrupts completely, they create a little feel safe, a little that's not the phrase.
Bubble.
Contingency.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what it's called, but anyway. So when they do go to the police, their particular arms stretch long, Money stretches long, especially in Hollywood. So before you go to the police, before you get all that stuff done legally, let everybody know, all right, cool, I might be in danger because I'm about to basically go and snitch, quote unquote. I don't know if it's called snitching, by the way.
He said that though, actually. He said he feels like there's going to be some people that are going to be upset with him because him calling out this person is going to mean the person can't work for a while, and it's going to affect their projects, the things that they're working on with this person, as in their opportunities. So he was like, I'm ready for that as well. But that's actually, I didn't think of it like that.
Yeah.
Because think about it, everyone that's gone straight to the police and whatnot, when Cassie's one drop, people were like, oh, why now?
Yeah.
But that's true. If you let people know that you've got all this evidence and stuff like that, even if he dies and whatnot, and all these things go missing.
Yeah. Billionaires in itself, 100% they got reach. But billionaires in Hollywood, they protect their own,
Yeah, 100%.
They protect their own. And as you can see with allegedly Diddy and whatnot, crazy levels of secrecy.
It's mad. So yeah, we'll see what happens anyway. I will keep you updated on all of that stuff. But love and light to him and anyone who is a victim of such abuse.
Yeah, man.
Please get the help that you absolutely need to get. That's all for me. Let's get into People's Journal.
All right, people. Welcome to the People's Journal, where I give you the news from an economics point of view. First thing I want to talk about is the petrol prices, man. How you guys feeling about petrol prices?
Hasn't gone down.
They have indeed,
It's
man.
been going down. Yeah, I'm here for it.
They're actually at their lowest since October 2021.
But you know, all of that stuff is mind games, though. Because they put it up, crazy up, and then when it goes down to something like this, that's still expensive. But because it's cheaper than what we've been doing for the last few months, we feel like, oh, it's a sale.
You appreciate it, innit?
Nah, I
Sounds
don't.
like conservative government in totality.
Boy.
Well, anyway, it's down to £1.43 average, right, for petrol. Diesel's down to like £1.50. But yeah, that's pretty much it. What's his name? Simon Williams, who's like a spokesperson for RAC. He was basically just saying, well, whilst the biggest retailers haven't announced any headline-grabbing big cuts, prices are falling steadily every day, which is encouraging. We just have to hope that this continues in the coming days. So there's no guarantee it will continue, but, you know what I mean, hopefully it will continue to, you know what I'm saying? Because it is a big drop from, I guess, last Christmas's prices of like £1.75 for diesel. Now it's £1.50, but let's see what happens. Also, you guys know Michelle Mone, right? She's the lady who was, who kind of set up this whole PPE contract thing in the government, right? And then she was asked about it, if she benefits from it. She basically, long story short, she's come out, she had an interview with the BBC with her husband, right? And they've come out and basically said, look, we was lying. You know what I'm saying? We did deny our role in the deal for more than 3 years. And of course, to be honest with you, we are going to benefit from this. So, for those who don't know, PPE Medro, which is what she's linked to, they were awarded government contracts worth more than £200 million, right? And they were basically going to be supplying PPE, personal protective equipment, to the NHS during the pandemic, right? Through this so-called VIP lane, which was introduced to help the government choose between all these other suppliers out there. Obviously, because she's linked to them, she was able to be that referral and kind of handpick them to be chosen for the contract, pretty much, So obviously, she's denied her role in any of that, right? Long story short, she's come out after all this pressure now to tell the truth, and she's confessed that obviously, she was behind everything, pretty much. PPE MedPro is being sued by the UK government, right, for £122 million plus costs for a breach of contract and unjust enrichment. Yep. Because the reason why is because millions of gowns that the company supplied were never even used.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the couple pretty much say that obviously these were still supplied to you in accordance with the contract. What really is the problem? Obviously the government's disputing that. Long story short, they're being sued for 122 million. And then because of that, they're looking into all the shenanigans, the potential shenanigans that were happening. And this is why her role has been put to the forefront. But yeah, in the interview, she said, of course, she stands to gain. Like when they asked her if she stands to gain, she's like, of course. If my husband passes away before me, then I'm a beneficiary as well as his children and my children. She said at the BBC, she was basically said to the BBC that her life has been destroyed by the allegations about the PPE profits, even though, she says, we've only done one thing, which was to lie to the press to say we wasn't involved.
It's the only thing.
Yeah, she said, but it's not a crime. It's not a crime. Why it isn't a crime, and no one deserves it, she said. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the person that was interviewing her pretty much said that, no, it was the person that was interviewing her? I think it was, anyway. She said that basically this woman, Michelle Mone, she was a baroness, by the way, was always going to benefit, and my family will benefit in due course. Her family benefit, my family benefit. That's what you do when you're in a privileged position of making money. You know what I'm saying? So this was just the mindset of these people that was involved in all of this. Next thing I wanted to mention is, I'm not too sure if you guys heard, you may not have heard about it, but there was a huge disruption on the railway a few weeks back. Long story short, passengers were stuck on the train, like dark and in the cold.
I remember when they were pissing on the Elizabeth line.
There you go. For hours. Yeah.
Pissing on the Elizabeth line for hours is funny.
Crazy. But yeah, man, like it happened in Ladbroke Grove, right? The electrical overhead
I'd
cables.
be so upset.
Yeah.
Oh,
it got
so
pulled down.
upset.
was terrible. Funny enough, yeah, well, not funny, but the person who was responsible for this catastrophe up there,
Yeah.
was actually a manager,
Who's manager?
like one of these train drivers' managers.
Why?
Yeah, he basically made a mistake.
Made a mistake of what?
Basically, there's certain trains that run using drawing electricity from the overhead cables, right? They've got something that basically connects from the train to it, right? It makes
There's
contact.
like a little like hanger.
Exactly, it's like
thing,
a V,
like a little clip.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? I think on the Elizabeth line, how long they are, they've got 2.
Okay.
So I think what happened was you're meant to slow down the train and do it at a particular speed.
Yeah.
He's done it, he's forgotten to do it, right? Going at, let's just say 50 miles per hour instead of maybe slowing down to 25.
Yeah.
And he's pressed the button and obviously it's pulled it up, but it's dragged the electrical cables down. And that's what's caused the problem, you know what I'm saying?
They'll have to fix electricals to get people going again.
Yeah, nothing they could do. Yeah, they were
Do they
stuck
get
out there.
compensation?
I'm not too sure about the compensation. They probably would, to be fair. But
There was a lady that had a flight here to Australia. Flight got cancelled, bruv. And then do you know what British Airways, sorry, not British Airways, because I don't know, allegedly. Whoever it was, whoever her flight was, they were like, well, they were like, the, what's it called? You know the little terms and conditions?
Yeah.
It tells people to leave in enough time. And she was like, I did. She was like, I did. I didn't expect to be on the Elizabeth line for however many hours.
that's ridiculous.
Oh, that's
ridiculous.
horrible, man.
Yeah. And because of this, this has gone all the way to the top. And long story short, the managing director of Network Rail, she's resigned. Yeah.
Do you know what? That's why I like this country. There's always consequences. Nigeria, they would have got a promotion. They would have given them the next
telling you.
contract
I'm telling you.
to do the next trains for another state.
Yeah, man. She's been in the role for 3.5 years, man.
Oh, that's orcs, man.
What they are saying is that she planned to resign prior to this incident.
Oh, shut up. She sound like me. I was always going to quit anyway. Oh, that's horrible, man.
Mm-hmm.
When people resign, do they get paid? Do they get a payout?
I think it depends on the circumstance, you know.
Something like this.
I'm not too sure about this.
It's not
It
Christmas.
depends on how much they blame her.
I'm not leaving. You're going to have to get me out.
She was getting 300k. Yeah. And she was commuting to work from Aberdeen. This lady, yeah.
I commute
So
from
people are
here
saying
to Timbuktu for 300k a year. That ain't nothing. That ain't a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was a peak time, man.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, they're saying because of that long commute and all that other stuff, she had already had it in mind to resign in January, innit? But yeah.
Yeah, but to be fair, she's gonna cost them 300k in what's it called? What's the word Gina used?
Compensation.
Compensation, yeah. Because they're gonna need compensation.
Yeah.
People were peeing in the corners on the
100%.
train.
It's ridiculous.
I was
innit?
stepping in piss, and you think I don't deserve to be compensated? I need new
It's
Uggs.
ridiculous.
Make it happen.
Absolutely ridiculous. Last thing I wanted to mention is basically there's a huge industry. Well, obviously, the steel industry is huge, right? But there's a company by the name of Tata Steel. It's an Indian company, and they actually are in the UK, right? Long story short, there's some stuff that's happening, and they want to cut jobs, 3,000 jobs, right? And so obviously the unions want to step in and basically see how we can, not we, but how they can manage this entire situation. The problem is now the unions have turned against each other. You got a union by the name of Community and GMB on one side, and they're fighting another union by the name of Unite on the other side. And long story short, it seemed like everyone was on the same page. They kind of agreed, okay, yeah, 3,000 jobs are going to go. However, we're going to try and reduce those jobs. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
The amount that will be lost in some type of way. So maybe only 700 get lost, and the remaining 2,300 of that 3,000 that are initially going to lose their jobs would remain. But the other guys, Unite, they got excited and said, wait a minute, we don't want any jobs lost, regardless, even though we're not paying the bills, even though we're not paying the salary, we don't want any of our union members to lose jobs.
I hear that. They're standing on business. I love that.
So they backed out. They messed up everything. So now you got unions fighting against each other, and that's basically what's happening.
That's what they want. Powers that be. That's what they want. They want,
Yeah, man. So they've got a meeting coming up. I'm not too sure. It might be today, but yeah, they got a meeting coming up, and hopefully they're gonna come to some sort of resolution in it. So we'll see. We'll see who wins, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and I think let me just say this last one, and matchesfashion.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mike Ashley, Mike Ashley's the guy who owns Newcastle, isn't it? Used to. Yeah. That guy, anyway. For those of you who know. I think he still owns Sports Direct, right?
Oh, he owns flannels as well, man.
Yes, that guy, right? So
Women in economics. Love that.
there you go. So he wants to, his company, the Fraser Group, they want to buy matchesfashion.com, long story short.
Okay.
Next is interested as well. Apparently they haven't been doing too good. They got some like heavy losses. And but obviously if they buy it, it will be a very discounted price. And that will crystallize the heavy loss, you know what I'm saying, for that company that owns it now. So some people are kind of talking about whether they're going to kind of stay strong or at least try and stay strong and to see if things get better. But long story short, he's interested, Next is interested, and they might be buying it, man. Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the People's Journal.
Thank you very much. Let's get into our last headlines for today.
All right, so our next headline takes us to Kenya, right, where the Kenyan President William Ruto says that he rejected a demand to arrest the Democratic Republic of Congo's politicians who launched an alliance with rebels in Nairobi on Friday. So Corneille Nangaa, who is the former head of DR Congo's electoral body, on Friday announced in a hotel in the Kenyan in the Kenyan capital, that he was creating a political military alliance with M23 rebels and other armed groups with the aim of restoring peace, right? So Mr. Nangaa was flanked by M23 leader Bertrand Bisimwa. And the move sparked an angry response from the Congolese government, who warned Kenya of consequences for hosting him, right? President Ruto, who spoke to Kenyan journalists in an interview on Sunday, said he refused to heed the request to arrest the Democratic Republic of Congo's politicians, terming it undemocratic. He went on to say that Kenya is a democracy. We cannot arrest anybody who has issued a statement. We do not arrest people for making statements. We arrest criminals. On Saturday, the Congolese government summoned the Kenyan ambassador to Kinshasa, summoned him in Kinshasa and also recalled its ambassador to Nairobi for consultation. In response, Mr. Ruto said it was DR Congo's right to do so, but I cannot arrest anybody merely because they issued a statement. This is undemocratic, and this is not how Kenya is. Kenya's foreign ministry earlier said it strongly disassociates from DR Congo's internal affairs, adding that it had begun investigating the matter. DR Congo gears up for tense elections on Wednesday with worsening insecurity in the eastern region, where more than 100 armed groups, including M23, operate. So yeah, we'll be keeping you guys updated on what's going on with the elections. But just imagine that M23 is one of the biggest groups that we were talking about during the conflict in Congo. But just imagine there are 100 other armed groups like that. Not as big as M23, but still 100.
Sounds chaotic, man.
It's crazy. Next headline. You guys remember Eddie Izzard? How can I say Izzard?
The Nigerian man. We're always banging that. Do you know how difficult that is?
Yeah, you remember him, yeah?
No.
It's part of me. Her. He's a her now. Yeah, so him.
I don't remember them.
It's not them. It's a he. It's a she.
So he's trans.
I don't remember anybody.
No, she's trans.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
There you go. Thank you very much. You guys, I'm learning, you know.
Yeah, you can say them and it still
Is it?
makes sense. Yeah.
But what if he doesn't have?
No, not in a way that is.
Oh, not a pronoun.
Yeah, not a pronoun.
Just like grammar.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if we listen to Brennan that one. So just gonna
Yeah, for Ben's worse than the old E.
no, me.
Yeah, that's false
He's
news.
saying before Christ.
Yeah. You know, it's the last week of the year, you know. Let's just
You know what I'm saying?
not.
Well, Eddie Izzard has failed in her bid to become a Labour candidate for Brighton constituency at the next general election, unfortunately. The comedian and actor had hoped to contest Brighton Pavilion, which is held by the Green MP Caroline Lucas since 2010. She will stand down when the election takes place, right? Brighton's local Labour Party voted for musician and activist Tom Gray. Izzard is 61 and has not publicly commented since the decision was announced. In a post on social media.
Shame, innit?
Yeah, man. Apparently she's got something in America anyway. So she's just going to fly over there and continue life over there, innit? Since this
I thought you meant politics. I was thinking, you're not loyal.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I think she still does like comedy stuff, innit?
Okay.
Yeah, all that type of stuff, yeah. So anyway, in a post on social media, Mr. Gray, an activist and musician who won the Mercury Prize with the band Gomez in 1998, said that he was delighted and humbled to be selected as Labour's candidate. The Argus newspaper reported that he received backing from several trade unions to secure victory, with Izzard placing second out of the 4 candidates. Still got second place, you know what I mean?
So I think there needs to be an age limit on people doing politics, man. Are you 61 trying to be...
Yeah.
Go and retire.
And the last headline. So you remember the guy that we were chatting about the other day, Alex Batty?
Sure do with that name.
Yeah. So, well, there's a bit more detail about the situation in it. So for those who don't know, I'm just going to start from the top, right? So the owners of a French farmhouse where this British teenager, Alex Batty, stayed during his years missing abroad have spoken about his time living there. Alex left home in Oldham, Manchester, Greater Manchester, with his mother and grandfather for a holiday in Spain in 2017, but then just disappeared. Now he's 17, he's returned to the UK on Saturday after walking alone for days in the French Pyrenees to find help, right? So the Gîte owners said that Alex, who they knew as Zach, was part of their family. He's thought to have stayed there on and off over the last 2 years. French authorities have described Alex's relatives' lifestyle as nomadic, with the family traveling from Morocco to Spain and then on to France. The Gîte de la Bastide is one of a handful of stone houses that make up a part of a small hamlet nestling in the foothills of the Pyrenees, right? Posting on their website on Sunday, the owners of the property said that Alex did odd jobs for them in return for food and accommodation. The couple said that they would take him on outings throughout the summer, including cycling and trips to the beach and nearby river. While his mother did not live there, Alex left several times. This is what they're saying, right? He left several times to go and join her, they said, right? And then that the last time he came back to the Gîte was early this summer. They said that he voiced a desire to return to a normal life. So they helped him to find a place at school, but learned that he needed official identification, which he obviously didn't possess. Soon afterwards, they said that he told them of his intention to return to the UK to get the identity documents that he needed to enroll in a local French school to study computer science. The couple said that when he left, he told them that he was going to join his mother. They told him that he would always be welcome, and if needed, we were there to help him, adding that we wish him the best of luck. Greater Manchester police said that they needed to fully establish the circumstances surrounding his disappearance before deciding whether to mount a criminal investigation. They said that there were other priorities. They said their other priorities were to support Alex and his family and to aid his integration back into the family. The whereabouts of his mother's location is unknown, right? Although what they're saying is the French prosecutor said that he had told them that that his mum intended to take him to Finland. And that's basically what prompted his decision to return to the UK. That's basically the story.
I must make a Netflix film for me to be able to follow it. Yeah, it sounds like a mess, but they definitely need to investigate because something came right.
Oh, 100%.
That couple either, they need to look into them.
But yeah, that's it for the headlines, guys. Time to pay the bills.
Nice. Let's get into the reaction. All right, so here's the scores from over the weekend. Sunday, we had Arsenal and Brighton hove Albion. Arsenal won 2-0. Aston Villa 2-1 against Brentford. West Ham United and Wolverhampton, I guess Wanderers, something like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so West Ham got 3, Wolverhampton 0. Manchester United and Liverpool got none, 0 all round. Saturday, Chelsea scored 2, Sheffield scored 0. Manchester City and Crystal Palace drew 2. Newcastle United scored 3 against Fulham, who scored 0. Everton scored 2 against Burnley, who scored 0. And that is it. Oh, on Friday, Tottenham Hotspur scored 2 against Nottingham Forest, who scored 0.
Cool. The only other things is Ian Wright, man. He stepped down.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, stepped down from Match of the Day.
Oh.
Yeah, man. He's 60 years old.
Why?
Cool.
He just
Then why?
No, but like, you know how usually when people step down, 9 times out of 10 it's
yeah, something. I hope.
Oh,
not.
it's nothing
Something
like that.
happened.
No. You know, Ian Wright is a wholesome black man. You know what I'm
Amen.
saying?
He's an uncle. Lovely uncle.
man. He's
Please,
a good man.
let's keep it like that.
He ain't done none that
Unless he needs
nonsense.
to get the day he deserves, and I'm always here for that boy. But
no, it's stuff like that. He's still going to be working for them, right?
Okay.
But apparently what he's saying is he wants his Saturdays, man. So he's going to be working Match of the Day on the Sunday. So it's going to be on BBC Two.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so the
I hear
main...
that, man.
yeah. So he's going to be Sunday's Match of the Day 2 on BBC.
No, yeah, almost done.
Oh.
Yeah.
Don't you know, let's just mute yourself.
Sorry. Pardon?
That's right, girl. We could just hear what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you could hear me?
Yes, so you didn't mute yourself.
I did press mute, but I realised I muted you lot, not me. Because I didn't press mute on Zoom. I pressed mute on my laptop. Don't know. Sorry.
That's right,
That's
girl.
all right. So yes. So I believe he's going to be on well, according to this article anyway, it says that after my debut show, while still playing 1997 and many more memorable years, I'll be stepping back from BBC Match of the Day at the end of the season. It also said in Wright, who will be on Sunday's Match of the Day 2 on BBC One.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
That's good, man.
Yeah, he says, you know, he feels very privileged to have had such an incredible run on the most iconic football show in the world.
Beautiful.
Gary Lineker bigged him up. Everyone bigged him up, man. He, you know what I mean? He's just a great guy. Obviously, I never met him, but
He
just get
seems
that
actually,
vibe,
he honestly
you know
seems very good vibes.
Yeah, man. And he's a legendary Arsenal player, man. So big up Ian Wright every time.
Big up him.
Also, the fight we were talking about last week.
On Friday.
Yes. Leon Edwards against the white nationalist Colby Covington.
Boy.
The guy who supports Trump.
You know.
Yeah, exactly. The one who was sending shots at Leon's dad. Yeah, man, he lost, man. Long story short, Edwards beat him.
Good.
From round 1 to round 5. It was so one-sided.
Because
so
I was like,
one-sided.
someone can't cuss your dead father and they come to beat you on top of it.
Nah, God forbid, man.
Love that for him.
Imagine. And it was so, I mean, you guys obviously saw it. How can you say I'm going to take it to hell like where your dad is or something?
Yeah.
What?
So you can meet
Damn.
him. Beat him black and blue. I love that for him. Big up him.
So yeah, man. First, like round 1, 2, and 3, the white guy, nothing. He did nothing.
Good.
It's not even like he did nothing. He couldn't do anything. Leon Edwards just put it on him. Straight distance, range, everything was on point. Like disciplined fight. There was a couple of times where Leon kind of got ahead of himself and tried to beat Colby at his own game, innit?
Yeah.
But still, even them type of situations there, he kind of got out of certain wrestling moves and whatnot, and still came out victorious. But I would say maybe Colby Covington maybe won one round out of 5. That's
a
it.
shame.
You know what I'm saying? It was a one-sided fight. It was a brilliant fight, man.
Love that.
So big up Leon Edwards every time, man.
Big up him.
Also, there was another fight that we spoke about, and this is between Jesse Bam Rodriguez and Sonny Edwards. Sonny Edwards from the UK. Good fighter. Both of them were undefeated. Both of them put everything on the line, but unfortunately, British fighter Sonny Edwards came up short, man. He got knocked out in the end of the 9th round. I think from like round 2, his eye was finished. So like from that round 2 to round 9, he couldn't even see out of his eye properly. Yeah, so he even
That's
did
7
well.
rounds.
Yeah, he even did well to even get to that stage, man.
That's
He's a very elusive fighter. But again, Sonny Edwards, he's one of them guys who, after his boxing career, he will most definitely be like a pundit. He's one of the best, like when it comes to articulating boxing, like he's one of the best. And he's an active boxer. And I think he's like 27 or something like that.
Oh,
yeah,
that's young.
Yeah, man. So after his career, I'm pretty sure he's got a job with any network, to be fair. But obviously it's real premature to talk about that. But he's a serious fighter, man. And he's definitely going to come back. This is the only loss of his career. And Bam is a serious guy. Everyone's talking about him being top 10 pound for pound, you know what I'm saying? So it's not a shame to have lost that fight, to be fair, at all. You know what I'm saying? So big him up as well. And the last thing I wanted to mention is Stephen Curry became the first NBA player to make 3,500 3-pointers.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Right.
The Golden State Warriors defeated the Brooklyn Nets. Curry passed the mark midway through the first quarter and finished with 37 points, including 6 3-pointers, as the Warriors came through 124 to 120. 35-year-old also scored 12 straight points in less than 2 minutes in the fourth quarter to seal the victory. And yeah, man, they ended a 3-game losing streak for the Warriors. So big up Steph Curry, man. Okay. Legend. And that's pretty much it for the reaction.
Look at God. Let's get into the outro base. All right, people, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. Appreciate you every single time. Everyone who took part in the chat and whatnot. I don't know what's going on in there, but I hope everyone has the day they deserve based on what the things they shared. Big up our researchers every single time. We appreciate you guys. Don't forget to follow us on social media platforms. The Day After TNB on Instagram, Twitter, and on TikTok. TNB, by the way, stands for the New Black. Just as a FYI, just in case you never knew. The number to call when we're live on air, and if you want to send your voices and dilemmas in text-wise, the number is 075-6484-1073. And if you'd like to inquire about the show or feature on the show, you can email the team at thedayafter@thenewblack.com. Any lasting comments? We've got 4 minutes to spare.
Yeah, we have a packed week for you guys.
We do have a packed week for
real.
y'all. Obviously, starting nice and say brief, but is this even brief?
No, it's not. It's what it's supposed to be.
Bro!
Can you imagine?
Bro,
to be frank.
'Cause I'm sitting here thinking, oh crap, did I rush this? I didn't. We covered everything. How we ought to have. I love that for us. But anyways, we've got a lit week.
Yeah, for real.
This week it's a lot, man. It's too much to keep up with. I'll be real. I can't keep up. Too much to keep up with. But anyways, as always. Second?
I was just saying, like the video.
Yes, please like the video.
If there was ever a time to share the videos this week, make sure you share the videos, man.
Yeah, but you know how people like, they don't like when you tell them stuff. So.
This is true. But
how are they going to know? Read our minds. But some people think they know. Anyway, let me not against it. Anyways, right? Like the video. Thank you very much. Please also subscribe to the channel. If you watch us every single day and you're not subscribed, I'll be real with you. I don't know what you're doing because you're here all the time anyway. You might as well just commit. Make a commitment. Stop having commitment issues. Let us be the first thing you commit to, right? But yeah, man, everyone have a great Monday. And
forgive someone today.
Sorry?
forgive for real.
He's been trying to give someone today.
Yeah, man.
What did you say?
Forgive
On
someone
your way
today.
out, forgive someone
You
today.
know what I was hearing?
What did you say?
Finger somebody today. I said, what the hell?
Oh, girl.
That's how I was like, say that one more time. What are you talking about?
No, don't do that.
Yeah, let's make it a T-Day Forgiveness Day.
Yeah, man.
Forgiveness week. You know what? Let's go out into 'tis the season and that.
Yes.
Just his birthday and that. Let's forgive the people you need to forgive. But yeah, all the best for people forgiving me.
Shout out to 90s Babies. They're gonna be starting a new show. They kind of teased
Yes.
it.
Sick, sick.
The film,
Looking
the
forward to
TV and stuff. Yeah, it looks sick.
That's gonna be great.
The set for that looks sick as well. So big up 90s Baby
Big up
every
90s
single
babies.
time, honey.
Facts.
Every single time. But yeah, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Lovely,
Peace.
Gina. Bye bye.
Bye, Gina.
How do you say bye in tree?
How'd you say bye in tree? Are you looking at me? I'm Yoruba.
It's bye-bye.
You say it's bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. There is no way to say it. You
so
say
done.
bye-bye. Oh, actually, why?
Tree.
Yeah, bro.